This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone. So who are joined for this demo session. Okay. Let me set the what is that clearly we are going to discuss in Java full stack and like what you are going to learn, what you can expect from this end of this course. What are the things you will be learning? I'll be walking through the each and every topic and what we will be covering and how we are going to cover, how the session will be delivered. And if you have any questions, I'll be clarifying the questions. Like before we get started with that, let me introduce I'm Lakshman. Having more than 14 years experience in Java and JWT technology. I work for the product-based company. So this trainings I'm doing from last 14 years, I can say that like not only an hour or 4 hours I will be doing. At any point of time, if you have any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask the questions. Yeah. Let me create it as one what I'll be saying it as okay. I think already I have a demonstration. Let me use that script. I mean, will ignore that whatever the previous script was there. So we will start from there. Okay, cool. So here, as a this is a full stack programmer course where it is going to take the 2.5 months. It is going to take. So, and the program will get start with the basic fundamentals like what is Java, how how to install your Java environment. When you are working with the any Java project, we need or any project in that matter, like we are you are chosen your career as a developer, you need to know certain things. You need to know certain things like first one is we need to get familiar with the IDE, working with the IDEs, how we are going to use the IDE, what is IDE. So you should know about that. And at the same time, there is a something called the build tools. Okay, build tools. That's in the Java we will be using something called the Maven. Okay, or Gradle. Equivalent of that is a Gradle. So this is what you will be using that here. And another one is working with the source code repositories. The source code repository, if we take that here, the most widely used one is a Git, and we will be using the GitHub. We are going to use it here. GitHub is the cloud service provider. We will be using the GitHub. We are going to use it here. Now, the first few classes, I will be explaining about the what is this IDE, what is this Maven, what is a GitHub, and how to push your code, pull the code. These are the things we will be discussing in the initial sessions. We will be discussing about that. Once you get the dev setup and the environment and familiar with these things, then we'll start learning about the programming fundamentals. That's nothing but the through core Java. We are going to learn that here, like how we are going to write a Java program, how we are going to compile. Like if there is no IDE, how are you going to use with the Java compilers? How we are going to use it, and you will be compiling that here. And I will be covering all the core Java concepts. We are going to cover it here. The main concepts is the fundamentals, the programming basics. You can say that here. So from the basics, we will start from the hello world example, and we'll discuss about the each and every elements like what are the keywords are there and what are the if conditions, the for loops. So then object oriented programming. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the object oriented programming. Object oriented programming, how this object oriented programs works and the exceptions and collections. Yeah. And then we will be discussing about the threads. Okay, then here reflection, okay, annotations. So these are the concepts I will be discussing about. Once you get familiar with the programming fundamental concepts, like where we are going to discuss about so dealing with the external resources, like what is a JSON, okay, how we are going to work with the JSON and the XML, and then you will be learning about the ML property files, and then we are going to take as an ML, how the ML files are. We are going to deal with the configurations typically the modern applications you will have it in the form of a JSON, XML, the properties or YAML file. How to work with the from by using the core Java, you will be learning about that here. Like what are the fundamental concepts we learn? The fundamental concepts by using the fundamental concepts, you will be dealing with the how are you going to make a JSON data? How are you going to convert into the your Java objects to the JSON? In the same thing XML, and then you will be taking the property files and YAML files. So we will work with the core Java. You are going to work with. Once you are done with this, we are going to learn about uh, the database. This database we learn by using the SQL. Okay, this is a place where you are going to learn about the SQL. All the SQL fundamentals we are going to learn. What is the SQL like? So we will take the database is here, PostgreSQL. We are going to take it here. We'll take the Postgres SQL. We are going to take it here, and the Postgres SQL database. And this database, when you are installing that, where we will get familiar with the cloud services. Okay, like either AWS or we will be using the something called the render.com. Okay, render.com is another cloud service provider. So where we can create a DB instance in the render.com, and or we can create a AWS account, and where we are going to install uh, the Docker, and by using that Docker, we are going to create a or we would install the Postgres SQL in the cloud. We are going to install, and that services we are going to use it. And when you are learning the SQL, you will be getting familiar with the database clients. Database clients is the most widely used one is a dviewer. Okay, dviewer we will install, and we will be using the dviewer. You are going to use it here. Now, once you learn about the SQL, then we would be introducing the I would be introducing the concept called the JDBC. So this is a JDBC, and where we are going to learn about the how to connect with the from your Java application to the database. Like it can be a local or it can be a remote server. How we are going to connect with that? How to perform the CRUD operations and CRUD create, read, update, delete, and how we are going to use the statement, prepare statement, callable statements. What is the difference between the statement, prepare statement, and callable statements? How are you going to do the batch uploads? So these are the concepts which we will be discussing in the JDBC. Now, so far, whatever you learn here, so JDBC and these all concepts, these are the concepts which will be common in most of the programming languages. Most of the programming languages, these are the common. Like no, you haven't decided that whether you want to go it as a Java full stack developer or Android developer, or might be the test automator, test automation side, which side you want to move. If you are not decided that, then what you can do here is core Java. Whether you move to the uh, Angular developer, or whether you move to the test automation side or Java full stack, this is a common. These all are common. What are the role you are going to enter into? Android, yes, these are the basic concepts you must aware of that. If you are working with the test automation, you must have this knowledge. If you are going it as a full stack, yeah, this is the base for us. Like a full stack developer, this is the base. And today you are learning the Java, tomorrow you are switching to the Python. These concepts more or less it will be the same, only syntax will be slightly different. So once you learn Java, you can go and comfortably learn the other programming languages. And another thing is every year and every version, Java also wants to make simple their language simple. So they are adding a lot of features. Every 6 months they are releasing the new versions they are releasing. And another thing is Java is not going to be replaced very soon, or the people will be thinking that, hey, well, what about if I learn Java for 3 months or 4 months, if I get it into the job, will it have this scope? Definitely it is going to be top language. It is going to be continue to be top language. Last 1 decade, it's a top language. You can say that, especially when you are building the enterprise grade applications. largely scalable applications, still people would prefer the doing in Java, doing in Java. And you can take that here at least another 10 years. Java is going to be the top language, top used language. You can say that here. Okay. So as a Java developer, like you have a lot of advantage. Like you can switch easily another programming languages and you can learn quickly. Yeah, because more or less it covers almost all the concepts whatever there in other programming languages. Only thing is that the syntax switching will be the it is going to take little time. It's not more time. It will take little time. So where you can comfortably you can go and work on the other programming. And till here, I would say that no, these are the tools and whatever you are using. Every developer must have the knowledge on this. How to work with the cloud and how we are going to use the effectively your IDE, how we are going to use the your source code repositories, and the build tool, how we are going to use that. Like so, every programming has got their own build tools. No, in case of the Java, we would be using either Maven or Gradle. We would be using. So this is what we are going to cover in core Java. I will say that this we can say it as a developer's fundamental languages. We can say that here. Any developer, you must have the knowledge on these areas. Yeah. Once you got familiar with that, then you would be discussing about the UI. We are going to learn about the UI. So where this is the place where you will be learning about the HTML, then CSS, then JavaScript, and you will be learning about the JavaScript and what Ajax, how this Ajax works. Okay, how we are going to make a network calls. So then you will be learning about the already I have discussed the JSON here. Once again, we'll use the JSON and how this JSON data will be consumed and rendered in the UI. You will be learning, and then finally we will be discussing about the Angular. Okay, we're going to discuss about the Angular. We will be discussing here. This is a UI component, and where when I'm discussing here, we would be using the most of the times Bootstrap. I'm going to use it here in order to create a responsive web pages. We would be using the Bootstrap. We are going to use it here. Now we got the familiar with the UI. Once you got familiar with the UI, then we want to build a server-side applications where your application is a can be used in the network. Then we have to build a server-side applications. You want to build that here. In order to build a server-side applications, so we should get familiar with the how this web works. How this web works, we should get familiar with that. This is the place where we will be introducing the so how servlets and JSPs works. We may not spend more time on the servlets and JSPs, at least to understand the how HTTP request works and how your server is going to receive the request and how it will be responding to the client request. To get familiar with this request and response model, we would be introducing you to the servlets and JSPs. This is the place where first time, so far whatever you are doing here, it is a standalone application. From the standalone application to the you want to make it as an application which works on the request and response model, like now how the request will be received and how are you going to capture the request parameters and how the response is sent and how we are going to display the response, like request dispatchers, how to use that, and how your filters and what is the filters and how we are going to use the filters. These concepts we should get familiar with that. To get familiar with that, we will be using the servlets and JSPs. Once you got familiar with these things, then you are going to move into the enterprise framework, that is a Spring Boot. We are going to use it here. Right now, here we are going to learn about the Spring Boot. And here the Spring framework will be using the Spring framework and our Spring projects we would create by using the Spring Boot. We will not go with the traditional approach. We will be creating the Spring applications by using the Spring Boot. And in Spring, we have a multiple modules, then core, and here we are going to take the core module, Spring Core, and Spring MAC. Then we are going to take the AOP, Spring AOP. Then we are going to take it as a Spring JPA, Spring Data. Okay, Data JPA. We are having here Spring JDBC, and then here we have something called the Spring Security. Okay, then here like how we are going to use the REST controllers and like in MEC it is going to cover the REST. APIs, how to write that APIs, and how we are going to provide the security for that, and then AOP concept, how we are going to introduce the cross-cut concerns. We will be learning in AOP. We are going to learn that here. Okay. Okay. Fine. Mm, then here, yeah, the sorry, security and all these things we will be learning when you are learning this Spring. And this is a place where whatever we are going to learn in Spring, this is what we are going to use it in our work environment. We are going to use it here. When you are learning the Spring, I'll be introducing the other tools like Postman. We are going to introduce the Postman. How to work with the Postman? How are you going to work with the Postman? Postman is a REST client where you want to test your APIs. How are you going to test that here? We'll be seeing that here. And not only testing this, like where I'll introduce the even JUnit as well. Okay, how we are going to write your unit test cases, how we are going to write it here, and we'll learn about that. And at the same time, how are you going to package your application packaging, how we are going to packaging the applications, like creating the jars, or maybe you are going to use we are going to use the Jenkins, CI/CD jobs, Jenkins, and then you have something called the Sonar Cube. How we are going to work with the Sonar Cube, the static source code analyzers. So then all these things will get familiar with that, and I'll be practically showing that here how to run the Jenkins jobs, how we are going to use the Sonar Cube, where there is a Sonar errors. If you are not following the coding standards, the Sonar is going to highlight that, hey, these are the mistakes you have done that. So why don't you correct it that? Some of the companies will have the quality gates. In order to pass that quality gates, you have to fix the Sonar fixes. You have to do that. How to do that, and what are the Sonar fixes I will be discussing. And finally, what are the applications we are going to build? That application we are going to deploy into the either render.com, or we may be using the AWS. We are going to use it here, and we will deploy. And the application you will maintain it as a two separate applications you are going to maintain here when you are getting here. Let me put it in this way. Yeah, here we are going to take it here. This is the way we will be developing the application. One application, this is a UI application. We are going to take it here. This is a UI, and then we are going to take it as a server side application. We are going to write it here. We can take it as a server side application, and here we are going to have the one database. Okay. Like here you would be taking the database. We'll take it as this approach we are going to follow that. Here I have my database is setting. Okay, database might be in a cloud. It will be in the cloud. What you can say that here, it may be render.com or AWS. Okay, this is the location my database will be running, and I want to connect with the these databases. We can take it as a Postgres. Okay, Postgres SQL, or we can do one application with the Postgres SQL. Another one is we can go with the MongoDB. I'm going to use it here. So the MongoDB is a NoSQL database. We'll get familiar with the even MongoDB also. How we are going to use that, we'll learn about that. Now here, your server application, this is by using the Spring Boot. You are going to develop the Spring Boot. You can take it here. The Spring Boot application also, when you are developing here, we'll have something called the MVC approach. We are going to follow that here. So where you would be taking here, this is the way you are going to take it here. Okay, then here we have got the something called the DAO or repositories, and here we have got the service. This is how we can call it as the controllers. Okay, these controllers are going to talk to the service. The service is going to talk to the service is going to talk to the DAOs. DAOs are going to talk to the DAOs are directly it is going to talk to your database. They will be talking to the database. What are the database data you want to get it here, and what are the response it is giving here? It will be given to the DAO. Okay, from the DAO, you would be connecting with from your server application from the DAO layer, you would be connecting with your database server. You are going to connect it here. And what are the client is going to make a request. So this is a client UI application. You can take it as this is an Angular application we are going to build. This Angular application will be hosted in again. We can deploy this Angular application in Angular application is in render.com, or we can deploy into the AWS. We can deploy here. So from wherever we deployed, from here we want to communicate with your Spring Boot application. You will be communicating with the Spring Boot application, and you will send a request. We will send a request. This is on the HTTP. We are going to send a request, and you will the server is going to receive that request, and it will go to the controller, and controllers will be talking to the internally services. Services is going to talk to the DAOs, and finally it will hit the database. And what are the data it is getting here? This is going to give it as a response. Okay, this is a response we are going to consume in Angular the way we want. We are going to display in this Angular. We are going to display. So this is the way we are going to make a request, and here we are going to get the response from the what are the HTTP requests I made. I'm going to get the response. I'm going to get it here. I'm going to get the response for the HTTP request. I'm going to get the response you are getting here, and to communicate this, we would be using the HTTP protocols we are going to use it. And when you take any applications, it can be a small application or larger applications. Typically, this is the architecture it follows that. How to build this, and how we are going to communicate, and how we will be deploying everything we will be learning when you are learning the Spring Boot. And when you are learning the Spring Boot, I'll be introducing the each and every module. How are you going to use it that, and how do you deploy that? We'll get familiar with that, and finally we will deploy the working application into these other services. We will be integrating the UI application into the server side. The final live example we will be creating. So this is what I'm going to cover in this Java full stack course. Any questions or any concerns so far? Anyone has any questions? Any questions, guys? You guys are with me at least?
Yes.
Don't think that we have to learn a lot, and yeah, you have to learn a lot. Now we are going to learn everything in one day. So slowly we will be introducing the one by one concept, and we will be learning about that. Yeah, and at the same time, I'll be giving the lot of assignments. Okay, I'll be loading with the lot of assignments where you will get familiar with the topic, what are the topic you are learning. And at the same time, what are the source code we are going to execute in the classroom? We will be sharing with you. GitHub repository we are going to share with you, so that you can download the source code, and you can refer that. When you are watching these recordings, if some things are not clear, the source code is available with you. You can look at that source code. You can take some of the things, you can take it here, and from the GitHub you can take it here. And another one is these days the AI tools are happening thing. Everybody discuss about the AI tools, how this works, how it is going to help the developers. The basic things, whatever we are learning, the fundamental things, most of the things can be done by the AI tools. So, but the AI tools are going to suggest you something, and you need to know exactly whether it is right or wrong, whether is there any better solution. You should be in a position to judge that. That is going to work be you can say that it's a there is concept called the GitHub has introduced this something called the GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot. Okay, this Copilot is it is going to say that as a GitHub Copilot. If you take that here, it is like the AI tool. Let me take to that here. GitHub Copilot. Okay, just we are going to take the Copilot. I'm going to take it here. And this is not free, guys. Don't immediately jump to that here. Okay, so here your AI pair programming. and what is this exactly does that here. I will explain this here. Copilot. Okay, Copilot, we are going to take it here. Like how we are going to use the GitHub for Copilot, and what are the things AI tools are going to do that here. Like I'll make you familiar with this here. Like now how we are going to use the GitHub for Copilot, what kind of code it is going to generate, and how we can leverage that. Like to the people hate to do that the same thing multiple times. Like somebody generates that code, then it would be much easier, no? So it is going to increase the productivity. So how these AI tools are going to increase the productivity, I'll be introducing. Okay, so maybe in class one itself we will be doing that. Yeah. So we will get familiar with the Chat GPT and GitHub Copilot. I will be using the most of the times GitHub Copilot. I will be using in the session. Yeah. So what is this Copilot? These things you will be discussing. What are the things it is happening? I'll be introducing here. And currently Java 21 it is going to Java 20 is released too, and 21 it's going to release in September. Uh, September time frame you will get the 21. Every 6 months the new version will be releasing that. So when you are learning the Java 20, when our new version is releases, I will be updating you that what are the new features has been added into the new version. Whatever enhancements they are doing here, we'll get familiar with that. So these are the things I'll be covering. And related to the projects, when you're working with that, sometimes you want to work with the PDFs, then you will be working with the Excel, okay, CSV files. So these are the third-party libraries, entirely external libraries. How to work with the PDFs, how to work with the Excel and the CSV. When you're working with the PDFs, there is something called the Apache F4. And when you're working with the Excel, there is something called the Apache POI. When you're working with the CSV, where you would be using the Apache common libraries, we are going to use it here. There are a lot of libraries are available. How to get familiar with these libraries also, I will be introducing. So overall, these are the things you can expect in the during this full stack program. If somebody has a special requirements, if you let us know that, whether we can cover or not, we'll see that. Yeah, if time permits, we will be covering the on-demand. If you want to learn some concept which is really required and it's a happening thing, definitely we will learn. Will try to cover. Okay, how this program is going to get started, what we are going to start and how we will be starting this program. So let me give a small demo. I'm going to give a small, with a small example we'll take it, and we'll try to do uh, the sample coding. We are going to do that. Before I move further, any questions? Any questions? Okay, and another thing is, the batch will be. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Sir, I would like to know about the build tools, Maven and Gradle. I mean, what is their exact functioning in our program execution? I mean, what we write and all. I would like to know about.
Okay, cool. See here, when you are using the let's take it as a simple example. Let me give it as a very simple example. Okay, whenever you are creating the project, okay, suppose if you are working into some project, let's take it as our project name is the CMS. Okay, contact management service. Okay, we can say it as a contact management service, MS, microservice or contact management service you are taking care. Now, when you are there is a multiple applications will be running. One is the contact management service. Then the other one is there is something called the product management service. Then there is a other application called the user management service. Like this, you have a multiple applications you are having here. And when you have a multiple applications, each project, if it is a follows the different directory structure, it would be very difficult you to go and do switching to the multiple applications. To avoid that problem, the build tools are standardized that hey, you should have the standard directory structure. Okay, that standard directory structure is, if you take that here, project name, it should have the, if I take the project name, if I'm taking here, this project will have the folders. This folder is, first you can take the SRC, Okay, then here we are going to take it as a src main Java. Let me src main Java, src slash main slash Java, main slash Java, and then here we have got the src main resources and the src test Java, src test resources. Okay, then you will have something called the pom.xml. This is a standard directory structure any Maven project follows. Any Maven or a Gradle project it follows. Like no, all your source code should go to the src main Java. All your configurations it should go to the src main resources. All your test cases has to go to the src test Java. All your test case related configuration should go to the your test resources. So that whenever you switch between the multiple projects, more or less everybody will follow the same directory structure they are going to follow. And another advantage is that like no, whenever you have a dependencies, like no, when you are creating the project or when you are working with the project, you will be having the n number of dependencies you required. And the maintaining the dependencies, downloading and copying into the your projects, those days are gone. Okay, so we will not do that here. Then we are going to configure the pom.xml file. What are the dependencies are required? We are going to add, and this pom.xml file, the Maven, it is going to connect with the Maven central repository. It will pull all the dependent libraries into your project. And whenever version changes, you need not you need not to worry about that too much. Just you go to the pom.xml file, you change the version. What is the transitive dependencies it is having? All those like no version without mismatching the version, it is going to pull the libraries which are compatible with that particular version. And another one is when you are doing here, most of the times you need to compile your code, then you have to run the test cases, then you have to package, and the package has to be deployed. You cannot do that manually. Like now, when you are using the Maven, just it is a one command. We will be saying it as a MVN package. It does that cleaning and first compiling, then it is going to verify, then it is going to do the packaging. Sorry, it is going to run the test cases, then it is going to do the packaging, and finally it is going to build your application. Suppose if I'm saying it as an install, it will be copying into your Maven repository. It is going to copy that. So those steps, instead of doing the manually, you would be taking the help of the build tools. You are going to take it here. This is one of the main advantage of using the build tools. The build tools will help you to automate your build process. To automate your build process, the build tools will help you. So can't we do it in manually? We can do that. We can do that, but manually every time it is impossible to do that. Like now, people will get bored and they will not use it. Another thing is, if you don't use the Maven or Gradle, we have to move the libraries to the source code. Whenever library changes, you have to download the required libraries, add to your build path. So that's really tedious job. All these things will be addressed by your build. Is this clear? Did I make you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm clear with now. Yeah.
Now, here when you are getting started with that, first we'll get the dev environment. So dev environment, we need to get the we need to get familiar with the what is that? Like first you need to install the JDK. Okay. If you are looking at the JDK, what is the JDK? The current version it is available. JDK download. I'm going to say that here. JDK download. So we can choose the latest version. Need not to be old version. We can choose the latest version. JDK 20 and the JDK 17 available now. They are saying here, like JDK 20 is available. We can download depends on your operating system. You would be downloading and you are going to install here. Now in my machine, what is the JDK is installed? I want to check that here. Let me close this command prompt. Like I'm going to open the command prompt, PMD command prompt. I'm going to open here. I want to check that what is the JDK version currently it is installed. Java version, which will tell that what is the JDK version I am using. Okay. This is going to give me the version of the JDK. I don't know why it's taking too long time. I'm using the JDK 20. I'm using the JDK 20. I'm using here. So the version 20 I'm using here. And these days, like you can have the any number of JDKs you can be installed. Earlier, they used to have the only one version. Uh, like like now, if you are using these days after the JDK 9, you can install the multiple versions in your laptop or in your server. So here we are going to use the latest version, JDK 20. We are going to use it here. Cool. Now whether my JDK is working or not, to test that here, like no, Java also they are like they are following like no like a Python. They want to make their languages a very simple. Like to get started with the to write a simple hello world example, we need not to open like no IDE type that all these things are not required. They introduce the concept called the J shell. I'm going to type the J shell. J shell. I'm going to type it here. This is a interactive shell where you can execute the your statements you can execute. Suppose if I want to print something on the console, system.out.println, I would be taking it as a welcome to Java world. Welcome to Java world. We are going to type it here. This is my first program. You can take it here. Execute here. You are going to get it here. Suppose I want to do that here. A simple logic. I'm going to take it as a equal to 10. Int a equal to. I'm going to take it as a 10. Comma b equal to 20 and c equal to I'm going to take it as a 30. Okay, I have taken these three values I have taken here, and I want to find the biggest. Big equal to I'm going to take it as a int. Big equal to I'm going to take it as a is greater than b, and we are going to say it as a is greater than c. Then you return the a value. Otherwise, we are going to check that here b is greater than c. We are going to return the b value. Otherwise, we are going to return the c value. Now, finally, big value we found that here. That is the 30 is the big value. So you can have the interactive shell. You can use it and you can do that. Like when you're working in projects, sometimes you get a doubt. Okay, sometimes you will get a doubt that like I have a doubt like something. Let's take it here. I'm going to take it as a string. Name equal to I'm going to take it as a so which we are going to take it here. What I want to do here is I want to reverse this string. Okay, I want to reverse this string. I don't know how the reverse the string in the project we want to do that. But running that in the project and the simple changes, it is a little challenging. You will come to the interactive shell and we want to test that here. I'm not confident that how to do that reverse of the string, but I know how it works. Now I'm going to test this here. Okay. New string buffer. Okay, I'm going to use the new string buffer. I'll be taking the name and I'm going to do the reverse, and I'm going to print it here. So now I got it here. I want to convert into the lower case. Like now after reverse that, I want to convert into the lower to lower case. String that to lower case, we are going to take it here to uppercase. Okay, I'll be taking it as uppercase. I'm going to do this here. Now it is working here. Hey, I did the reverse and so now I'm confident that like no, hey, this is the way I can do the reverse. Like no, instead of working in a project and making the changes, so quickly you can go to your interactive shell and what are the doubts you have, just you can clarify with that. So this is the way you can use the interactive shell. That is a J shell we can introduce. We can start using that here. Now, so just we are going to say it as a exit. I don't know. This is exit or slash q slash. Yeah, this is a exit. Goodbye. Okay, slash exit. We are going to say that here. It is going to say it as a goodbye. So this is a way you can use the interactive shell and ensuring that like no, hey, your JDK is working. This is fine. Now, when you are working with the projects, most of the times, majority of the times, you are going to use the IDE. And here, I'm using the Windows installer. I'm going to use it here in my case because I'm using the Windows machine. Uh, like no, these days, the installations will be the same, whether Windows machine or Mac machine. Like no, most of the things are they are giving it as executables. We are going to run that here. Okay. Once I'm done with this here, I need to choose the one of the IDE. Like when you take this IDE, we have a multiple IDs available in the market. We have a multiple IDs available in the market. You could go with the either Eclipse, Spring Tool Suite, or we can go with the NetBeans, and then there is something called the IntelliJ. Okay, here we are going to take the IntelliJ IDE, IntelliJ IDEA. We are going to take it as a IntelliJ IDEA. We are going to take it here, and here you get the two editions. You will get it here. When you click on this download, we have a unlimited, ultimate, and we have a community edition. Ultimate and the community edition. It's a community edition is good enough for us. Like now, if you are working in a company, then you want to get the some more features like Docker integrations and other stuffs you require, then you would go with the ultimate. We are going to use it here. But as a learner, it is okay for us. Like you can use the uh, community edition. You can use it here. You can download and you can install the community edition. You can install here. Like this is what just I'm going to select this here, and I would be installing that community edition of the okay the community edition of the IntelliJ IDEA. I'm going to install here. Okay, so this is we can take as a idea. Okay. So get range we are going to take it as the idea is the IDE we are going to install. Once you install this IDE, then we require one more thing, that's a Maven and Git. These are the basic installations we need to do, the basic setup we need to do that here. Like if we take the Maven, so the Maven installation is there is no installation as such. Maven download. So if you go to the Maven official site, where you are going to download the one zip file. Okay, this is the zip file we need to download. Apart from that, nothing else we need to do that here. After downloading, you are going to extract this zip file into the some directory. We need to add where your Maven is installed. We need to add to the build tools. We need to add to the class path. We need to add it here. Once you add to the class path, we can access that here. Suppose if I'm already I have installed the Maven in my machine, I will take the one of your machines and first class. I would be doing the basic setup. I would be doing that here. Suppose if I want to check that here, MVN hyphen version. What is the version I'm using Maven? Just I want to get to know that here. When I type it here, MVN hyphen version, it is going to give me the what is the Maven version. I'm using this is the version I'm using. Where that is installed, this is installed in this is the directory it is installed. This is the directory, home directory. This is the place where my Maven is available. Then one more thing we are going to do that here. Maven, we are done with that. Then there is something called the Git Bash. Okay, this is another tool we require. Git Bash we can download. Okay, Git Bash we can download. Okay, let me add it all these things. Okay, Git Bash you can download from here. The Maven you would be downloading from the. This is what we are going to download the Maven. Yes, we will be taking here. Yeah, download Maven. This is a place where we are going to take the Maven. So this is the basic setup. As a Java developer, your mission should be done with this setups. It has to be done with that. Once you are done with that, then you can get started with the writing your first project. You can create your first project by using the IDE. We are going to create that here. This IDE internally uses this JDK. The prerequisite is in order to install and in order to work with the IDE, we need to have the JDK installed. Like no, any one of the version it has to be installed here. Once you install, then you're going to install the IDE, then you're going to install the Maven, and you would be installing the Git we are going to install here. Suppose if I'm taking here already my Maven is installed, and from the day one we are going to create a one Maven project you would be creating. And this is examples whatever we do it in a classroom. So we will be creating the one project. and this project, what are the examples we have done. In day one, we have done these are the programs we have done that here. Day two, we have done these are the programs. And like now, every day, what are the code we have done that here? And I will be pushing this code to the, I'll be pushing this code to the GitHub repository. That link is going to share with you so that you can clone, and you can like every day you can pull the code, latest code you can pull end of the session, and how to pull and how to push that I'll be explaining that. And like no these are the first 1 week I'll be covering the fundamentals of the programming. Okay, just you are going to cover the fundamentals of the programming. You can take it as a till 9 days, ninth day or 10 days. Yeah, first 10 days we will be covering this all the programming fundamental questions. So how we are going to find the how we are going to write a basic programming. Suppose greetings. This is a first example. So welcome to Java world. Just we are going to print it here. Number operations. How we are going to find the biggest of three numbers, and like how we are going to use the sum of two numbers. So this is the way you would be we would be starting the our program. And another thing is like when you are like no when I were asking that like no, object oriented concepts when you're learning, like where you are going to see that here. Welcome to wallet service. This is a simple application which we are going to see that here. Okay, whether it is working or not, I'm not sure. It should work. So like now where we can create a wallet. Like now enter your choice. I want to create a wallet, and enter your mobile number. I'm going to enter some dummy number I'm entering. 98989898. I'm going to enter. Enter your name. I'm going to enter it as a Krish, and here enter the balance is some 8,000 we are going to enter here. The wallet is created successfully. Suppose if you want to view all the wallets, we are going to, there is a one wallet which is created. I want to create a one more wallet. Mobile number is 97979797. Okay, 97. We are going to take it here. 97 we are taking here, 10 digits, and enter your name. We are going to take it as a Manoj, and enter the balance is I'm going to take it as a 500. Okay, cool. Now if I'm looking at all the wallets, these are the two wallets we are having here. I want to transfer the money. The option 3, enter the mobile number. Okay, this is a mobile number. I want to transfer mobile number. Okay, this is a mobile number. I want to enter the from mobile number. From where you want to transfer? From Krish, I want to transfer the some amount. Okay, let me paste it here. This is a Krish mobile number. Enter the two mobile number. This is what I think I typed the number of characters in mobile number more. Okay, this is a 2 digits, 1 digit is more. Enter the amount. I want to transfer the 500. Okay, now here the wallet with the mobile number amount is credited and current balance is 1,000. Like earlier, if you take that here, earlier if you're taking here, the Krish has got the 8,000 is having that, and we are transferring the amount 500 we transferred. Okay, and here this is a mobile number with this debited, and it's a 7,500. Here credited with the credited mobile number should be this. Okay, there is something wrong. Okay, here this is a bug. We need to fix that. This is what it is going to show that here. Like if you want to deposit the amount, like now here we are going to say that here. What is the mobile number? How much you want to deposit that here? Now I'm going to copy this here. I want to load a money. Deposit is nothing but the load the money, and I want to deposit the around 2,500. I want to deposit. Okay, now I'm going to see this here. It's a credited and the balance is a like this. We will be developing the simple applications we are going to develop. Like now by using the concepts whatever we learn, we are going to develop the applications we will be developing here. Like then there are some places we will be learning. We will be doing some fun games. Okay, what are the concepts we learn? We want to use that the practical use. We want to do that here. So we'll take it as one of the example dice game. Okay, this is a dice game. If you take that here, day 4, we learn about the for loop, and we learn about the how the for loops are going to use it here. Like now, we would be running this here. This is the example we are running here. Hey, guess a number. I'm going to enter the 2. Sorry, wrong guess. Try again. I'm going to guess this number 3. So sorry, it's a wrong guess. I'm going to set as a 5. You guess the number in the third attempt. Like now, when you throw a 6-face dice, and you are going to get the one of the option. Like you are asking the user to guess that number. Now suppose if I'm running once again, I'm going to give them my guess number is a 5. It said that wrong. 3 wrong. I'm going to guess the number 4. You have reached the maximum number of attempts. The generated number is a 6. Like now, when you throw the die, 6 face die, you will get the 1 to 6. So we are giving the 3 chances. If he is not able to find that, then we are saying that you have reached the maximum number of attempts. You have to rerun the program. So this is what is how we are going to do this program. What are the basic fundamental concepts we learn by using the for loops and like you would be applying that where you practically you are going to use it here. This is the place we are going to apply, and we'll be writing these small fun games we are going to. So this is a way the concepts whatever we learn, we will take a one simple scenario and we'll apply these concepts, and finally we'll be building this sample application. So this is what I'm going to cover, and like everything will be live and hands-on. Like whenever you have a doubt, you can unmute and you can ask the questions. Like we can discuss, and at the same time, recordings will be shared with you, and the source code also will be shared. This is the way this program is going to be executed. I'll give you a pause. I think more or less I whatever I intended to say, I've explained everything. If you have any questions, I will take your questions in another 5 minutes. Otherwise, we can close the session. Yeah. So yeah, any questions? Any questions or like no, if you have like no any concerns like no, yeah, you can feel free to ask that. The I will try to answer your questions.
And will there be any doubt clearing sessions like every week or monthly ones like that?
See, every weekend I will recap the what are the things we learned, and during the especially when you take the collections and exceptions and object oriented concepts, I'll be discussing about that. Typically, what are the questions would be asking in the interviews? I'll be covering.
Okay. Mhm. Like one-on-one sessions will there be any one-on-one sessions like if we
Uh,
got stuck in somewhere?
if you get stuck in somewhere, like no, we can connect early 5 minutes. Yeah,
Okay.
if you tell
Uh-huh.
us more. So our end of the session, like now we can spend with you 5 10 minutes and we'll cover that.
Yeah, that should be good. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but connecting immediately when you got stuck may not be possible. But definitely
Yeah.
early or after the session we would be connecting. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you guys, and I hope you learned something from me. Yeah. So this 1 hour session, whatever we interacted, so we'll meet on Tuesday. Okay. Thank you.